Good morning. In every issue of our Yavapai County Collective, we feature one department, which allows us to get to know that department or office a little bit better and to find out what they do for the citizens of Yavapai County. You may recall in our last issue, I spoke with Wendy Ross, our Human Resources and Risk Management Director. This morning, I have the pleasure of talking with Kennedy Klagge from our Public Defender's Office, who is our Public Defender. So welcome, Kennedy.
Thank you. Good morning.
Well, let's start this morning with the basics, as they say. So what is the Public Defender's Office?
Essentially, we are a government-funded law firm. We are appointed on indigent defendant cases in which there's a liberty deprivation at stake, and we represent them from the beginning of their case through trial and appeal.
Very good. What entitles someone to a public defender?
Generally, there has to be some sort of liberty deprivation at stake, so it could be incarceration in jail. It could be taking away other sort of civil liberties like forced medication, severance of parents' rights to their children. There's several different ways in which you can derive a liberty deprivation, but you need that plus indigency, and that's determined by the court. And that's essentially whether or not they could afford counsel on their own.
Okay. Well, can anyone just call the office and say, I am indigent, I need an attorney assigned? How does that work?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. They have to go in front of a judge. The judge has them fill out financial affidavits. Okay. And then based on those affidavits and the approximate cost of retaining counsel, the judge makes a determination about whether or not the public defender's office should be appointed and whether or not it's appropriate.
Very good. How long have you been at the Yavapai County Public Defender's Office, by the way?
A little over 20 years now.
20 years. Very good. Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And what was your path? How did you get into public defense work as a career?
Well, I had sort of an unusual path. I didn't intend to go to law school. I had a very meaningful degree in sociology, Chicana studies, and philosophy.
Interesting.
And my family highly encouraged me to take the LSAT. I scored in the 97th percentile and went to law school and knew that if I was going to be a lawyer, I was going to spend my time fighting for who I considered to be the underdog. That's what's most important to me and what I'm passionate about.
Well, thank you. Thank you for that. Here's a question that, in my experience, gets often, maybe most frequently for public defenders. So how do you represent someone when you know they are guilty?
Well, our job is to represent the interests of the client, and part of that is ensuring that all of the constitutional protections that our forefathers and that our veterans and active military fight for are protected. And so oftentimes, you may be negotiating a case for the best resolution if that's what your client wants. You may be going to trial and pursuing any defenses that are possible. But in the end of the day, it's our job to show up at the gunfight with a plastic toothpick sword if that's what's needed. Very
good. My last question for you this morning. I know you and your staff are involved in a lot of community activities. Can you talk about that a bit? Some of those activities, maybe, community events you're involved in, and why that's important.
So my favorite is the Veterans Stand Down. We work with our various veteran agencies here, have sort of a mock court, although it's real court. And we help veterans who have pending criminal matters resolve those outstanding issues in a timely and usually effective way for them. And then historically and consistently, we do set-asides for former clients of the office or former clients of contract attorneys of the office to remove felony convictions and restore people's rights to possess firearms and vote.
Very good. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for those community events. I personally think that's very important, so I appreciate that you do that. Well, unfortunately, Kennedy, that's all the time we've got for today, but I want to thank you for coming in and showing a little bit of information about your office and about your path to being our public defender. Very interesting. If you have a county department or office that you would like to know more about, comment below and let us know that. If you think your department or office should be featured in one of our upcoming videos, please let us know that as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.